setjhabeng. Then we have to create a safe and supportive environment.
The
Children's Act should be amended and allow young girls to be charged for provoking adults to engage in sexual relations with them because they use their freedom to provoke adults into having affairs with them, leading to these adults being charged with defilement.
They are free.
The collaboration of pastors and organizations such as Bouquet, Bonella, and NAP, amongst others, is said to be viable in fighting against the spread of HIV/AIDS in the country. Mareta Kaisara, BTV News, Maung.
Meanwhile, the Assistant Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Mr. Mabuse Pule, says the official handing over of the Mochele Primary School in Odi came at the right time since the village is facing a challenge of increased population. He stated this in Odi during the official handing over of the school. Lizzie Klaas with more.
Last year, July, a groundbreaking of the primary school to be constructed at Odi village was conducted. Fast forward to October 2024, the school is complete and is being officially opened, a clear indication of the government's prioritized project to the Education Ministry to deliver quality education that leaves no one behind. This newly opened school is also an answer to the challenge of overprescription in Odi, which led to shortage of classrooms. If you remember well, our current school, Odi Primary School, has a capacity of 500 students, but because we are near the city, many people reside this side, so the school is forced to admit up to over 800 students. For our council to have made a decision to construct a school this side is a privilege and a move we have to applaud and appreciate. The intention was to expand the learning facilities and increase them from the number that we had before, because there is an increase in the number of students who are registering in schools. We have done this diligently, well in time and within budget, to a tune of over 49 million. This project is a big development in Kgatleng region. We have many years thinking that the government abandoned us in bringing the developments. The school, which is said to be the pride of the village, forms one of the infrastructural developments in the area. I am happy beyond limits that this day we are here to witness this great achievement. We are going to take good care of this school. We will work tirelessly to ensure we keep it in pristine condition it is in today during this handing over. It is our pride as Bakhatla.
I express my confidence. Together, we have laid a solid foundation for success, and I'm eager to witness how these initiatives will evolve under new stewardship.
The school will admit its first ever batch next year, January, starting from Standard 1 to Standard 6. Lizzie Klaas, BTV News, OD.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Lemogang Kwape, has commended the organizers of Makgodumo Cultural Festival for a successful event. Officially opening the 7th edition of the festival held in Kanye, Dr. Kwape said such events should be done annually as they promote unity amongst Botswana and support the arts and cultural tourism, which contribute to the economic growth of the nation. Kisofese Magwinja has more.
When appreciating the cultural festival, Dr. Kwape mentioned that the government is committed to support cultural events as they uplift communities. He says it is important that such events be documented and preserved as part of cultural heritage that can be passed on to the next generation to avoid its extinction.
Our aim as Botswana is to create sustainable economy for all. We want it to be based on skills development, which should also include hard work, resilience, and confidence, which our mothers have already displayed during the demonstration of the Khafela this morning. All this should also be documented, preserved, and used to generate profit for us.
Dilo tse di a kwalwa, di a sirelediwa, di bo di tsenye letseno mo matshelong a rona.
In his acknowledgement of the event, the Paramount Chief of Bongwaketse, Kgosi Malope II, called out investors to assist in developing the place and coming up with ways they can preserve it.
We want this place to look attractive and not to be used only once a year as we currently do. We want it to be fenced and have a conference facility erected in it. So we have to do something about this place, which we have long wished to see developed and secured with animals in it.
It's not just happening.
This area we are occupying is called the Ramatia Range, and we have 40 hectares of land, and this whole range is 2,800 hectares. You can see that we still have a vast piece of land that has not been utilized. The National Vision 2036 aims to see every Motswana prosperous by the year 2036, but that can only happen if we are united as a nation. It can also happen if we live in peace with each other. There's a Setswana proverb that says, one good turn deserves another. So as we are seated here today, we exchange ideas that can help each one of us to reach our set goals.
The residents of Kanye have been asked to take part in these events and attend in large numbers to promote it and give it the dignity it deserves. BTV News, Kanye.
The Southern Divisional Traffic Officer Assistant Commissioner Boiki Mojalemoto has applauded residents of Sabong and surrounding areas for their unwavering support in the fight against crime. Speaking at the Sabong Community Policing Cluster Awards, Mojalemoto said government is committed to making community policing and its associated initiatives more effective and impactful in the fight against crime. Mpo Gileboge.
The partnership between communities and the police remain key to achieve safer communities and economic prosperity as the country positions itself for a higher economic status. To enhance the impact and effectiveness of community policing, participation of key stakeholders such as the private sector, farming community, youth and community at large is critical to fight crime. Our objective is to encourage community policing because an effective community policing structure encourages residents to communicate and work with officers to help keep the communities safe. It is important for every citizen to contribute voluntarily and selflessly towards making Botswana safe and secure. Our role as parastatal is to encourage public-private partnership to assist with necessary support services towards fighting crime.
There's a need ya go nne le change ya gore bana ba bone thuto ka gore bana le keletso le lerato la go direla Botswana mo tontsho.
I call upon relevant stakeholders to provide industry engagements, workshops to train us on community policing strategies and best practices. The protection of life and property by Botswana police officers in partnership with the community clusters across the country is consistent with Vision 2036 fourth pillar of governance, peace and security. Botswana Television.
You're still with BTV News at 9 o'clock. Parliamentary hopeful for Charles Hill, Mr. Tati of the ruling Botswana Democratic Party BDP, has promised to emulate the party president, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, by creating an environment based on consultation with constituents. At his launch on Monday in Charles Hill, Tshweneyagae promised that if voted into the parliamentary seat, he would ensure that he consults extensively with the constituents so that he takes forth their challenges to address in Parliament. Tshweneyagae, together with 8 council candidates, were launched by the Secretary General of the BDP, Mr. Kavis Kario. Angela Enosa.
The stage is set for Wednesday, the 30th of October, to see which candidate is the rightful person to occupy the parliamentary seat for the Charles Hill constituency. The BDP is pinning its hopes on Mr. Tato Tshweneyagae. We kindly ask that you vote for the BDP parliamentary candidates as well as the candidates hoping to be elected into council. By so doing, you'll be ensuring that you form a united team whereby decisions will be made in solidarity, as they will all be from one party and hence share the same ideals. If you fail to vote representatives from one party, this will slow down the pace of developments coming to your constituency, as there will not always be an agreement of which projects to prioritize. The BDP members stated that their party has a proven track record, evidenced by 58 years of continuous developments across the country. We have a mandate to improve Botswana's lives, and we intend to live up to that. We have a good track record, proven by some developments such as the road infrastructures we can see here. The BDP has proven to be a party that upholds democracy, evidenced by the election process held every 5 years. In all the years the BDP has been in power, we have never been under dictatorship rule, something we should be grateful for. Mr. Tshweneyagae likens this journey he's about to embark on to that of Moses from the Bible, promising to be the one to lead the constituency to numerous developments. I will be seeking guidance from you, and I implore that you hold my hand and we join together towards bringing positive developments to this area. I will work tirelessly with you and will ensure I am trustworthy in addressing the challenges that you'll be bringing forth to me. I will ensure that I take forward these challenges that are presented to me so that they are addressed and in turn see lives here changing for the better. 3 other candidates from the Botswana Congress Party, Umbrella for Democratic Change, as well as the Botswana Patriotic Front, are vying for the Charles Hill parliamentary seat. Angela Enosa, BTV News, Charles Hill.
Still in politics, Mr. Kgotla urged Tati East residents to vote for the area parliamentary candidate Dr. Douglas Letsola-Thebe and his council candidates in large numbers, as he has displayed an unwavering commitment and capability in advancing vital developments in the area and beyond. He said this when launching the candidates in Tati siding. Abigail Madorobo has more.
Mr. Audwetse highlighted that the ruling Botswana Democratic Party's commitment to continue with efforts of eradicating poverty through various programs aimed at improving the lives of Botswana and devising other viable avenues of ensuring stable and healthy economy. He described Dr. Letsola-Thebe as a worthy leader who served the constituency with determination, hard work and honesty, hence the need for him to be given another chance to continue serving people diligently. I'm here to agree with you for taking the rightful decision for giving this man a second chance, as he has proven his loyalty to serve. Speakers noted the progress made by the party in the past term. We are in that East constituency, so please let us not forget achieved developments. We now have Tsesebe Mosojane Road, among others. The president has managed to network with other countries, making it possible for our country to be known globally. Dr. Letsula Thebe accepted the call of duty. We are here pleading for your vote, as I promised to stand up for the availability of water in Tati East constituency, and I have made it possible. Residents have been asked to ensure that the constituency does not get lost to the opposition parties. Abigail Madorobo, BTV News, that siding.
Up next is Jose Hongwe with the latest in sport.
Good evening, and this is Hosonkwe bringing to you Botswana Tonight Sports News, and with that, let's get straight into the first story. Celebrated local motorbike rider Ross Branch says his FIM World Rally Raid Championship victory has fulfilled his childhood dream. The victory was Branch's and also the country's first ever world title. Sofazo Malepa reports.
It was a good season on the bike for Branch, who has over 5 rounds that he has accumulated over 12 stage wins, his highest ever in 3 seasons in the World Championship.
It was an incredible emotional experience for me. You know, it's been a dream of mine since a little kid. It's been a 34-year goal that eventually came to plan this year, and it just made me feel on top of the world. You know, I have dreamed about this moment for so long, and yeah, just what went through my mind, the main thing was that I never let my family down. You know, I promised them I'd be a world champion one day, and all the effort and hard work they've put into me would eventually pay off, and for me that was a really big thing.
Moreover, the 38-year-old attributed his success to a good year in which he didn't suffer from any injuries.
It's been a long year, and I think being consistent for me was probably the strongest part of my racing career this year. You know, I had to stay consistent to beat the other guys, and although I wasn't winning all the rounds, I did do well in a lot of the rounds. So I think being consistent and staying on the bike, no injuries, and making sure that we were fit and healthy all year paid a big part in winning the championship.
Even though representing the nation comes with a lot of pressure, Branch, affectionately known as the Kalahari Ferrari, said he used that as a motivation to do well.
Representing not only a nation, but you're representing an entire continent. It plays a big toll on the emotions, and also there's a huge amount of pressure. You know, no athlete wants to let their supporters and their followers down. So when you're sitting on the start line, you're not only thinking about winning the race for yourself or your family, you're thinking about the entire nation that's waiting to get those results at the end of the day. So for me, it was huge. You know, I've been backed and supported by everybody in Botswana for so many years of my career, and you know, to let them down at the last minute in the last race of the season was not an option for me. I wanted to go out there, give it my best, and fly the flag. You know, there's no better feeling than listening to your national anthem being played at the end of the race, and standing up there with the Botswana flag and knowing that you represented that nation and you represented them well is an incredible feeling. So I'm very grateful to get that opportunity to, you know, give back to our country, to give back to our motorsport a little bit, and just very, very emotional, but a very happy day for me, that's for sure.
Branch expressed his gratitude to his family and sponsors, and he will now take a breather as he now set his eyes on the 2025 season opener Dakar Rally in January. Tsaufatso Malepa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Moving on, the Minister of Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture, Tumiso Rakgare, applauded Nyangawe primary school teachers for their efforts in assisting with sport development. Rakgare recently visited the school to officially start the Matlakolatsela project. Homsos Fako with the details.
With the absence of school sport for the past 4 years, the sport fraternity has been struggling to find young developed players, which necessitated the need for a new grassroots development program at Matlakolatsela.
Ga gona so se monate jaaka go bona batho ba ile gore they care ka bana ba lehatshe la ga rona, especially bana ba dingwaga tse dikana, bana ba vulnerable, bana ba if ne re ka tswella gongwe ka status quo ka ha ne go ntse ka teng ba sa kgone go nna le opportunity ya gore ba tshameke.
We applaud and appreciate your efforts, as they will go a long way in helping these children in the future. All 9 of you will be playing a great role in assisting the government and the BNSC to unearth future stars who will feed different national teams as well as local clubs.
Part of agenda ya government, agenda ya ministry wa rona, and indeed the BNSC, gore re kgone go bona bana ba la ntla hela ba tshameka. It's part of kgolo ya bone se se botlhokwa, ba tshameka ba itshidila mmele.
The Youth Development Program will benefit different national teams in the likes of football, netball, volleyball, athletics, and others.
This is a pilot project. Re baakanyetsa gore ere next year, next financial year, e be le gore gongwe re bone madi gongwe a hetang a re nang le one gompieno.
We prepare well in time to make sure that in our next financial year, we develop further to make sure it's of high standard that can produce top athletes. These children are the future of sport. They are tomorrow's leaders.
Because we are saying re baakanyetsa our national teams, 1, number 2, re baakanya bana ba for future, because sport is go ruta le boeteledipele.
Me equipment yone minister re solohetse gore that one.
I can assure you that as early as next week, all necessary equipment will be provided for the program to make sure that we kickstart on a good note. Most of the challenges are visible, but we should be working hard to make sure we give these children proper support despite the challenges. It makes us happy to see them playing their favorite sport codes and enjoying.
Miso se botlhokwa se ke se utlwileng ka dikgwetlo dingwe tsa teng ke tse re setseng ke tse o di bonang ka matlho ga o tlhokagale gore o di bolelle gore di teng.
The program came at the right time as different countries are gearing up for the 2025 AUC Region 5 Youth Games, which will be held in Namibia in May. Khomzo Sefako, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
The senior national women's football team head coach Basimane Maleti says they are geared up and determined to put up a brave fight in order to bring back desirable results from the upcoming Hollywood's Best COSAFA tournament scheduled to start next week in South Africa. Maleti revealed this during the team's training session here in Gaborone. Kagiso Molelokwa has the report.
Coach Malete further said, since they didn't perform to expectations in the previous edition, where they finished in group stages, they intend to go into the knockout stages this time around.
In last year's COSAFA Women Championship 2023, we only ended at group stages. Even though we didn't lose any game, we didn't do enough to go to the semi-finals, and we are looking to improve on that also. The key match is the first match against Malawi, which I believe is going to be more tactical. It will also help us to measure how far we have gone in terms of preparations, because I think from the last camp in Tunisia, we have made really good progress, especially when we played against Tanzania and Tunisia.
He also noted that having all players available in camp gives them a moral boost, which will play a crucial role in realizing their dream.
Everyone is here available for selection. Only Desiree Ginyadi is injured, but one international player is here, Masoro Munchu. Lona Raufetoge Mokhabatanda will join us from tomorrow. And then Bitumelo Hamu, Lesoro will only join us in South Africa because they're still committed to their club in Namibia. But so far, so good.
Our preparations are going well. We haven't been playing since our league is yet to start, but players look determined to deliver. This tournament will also help us to prepare for next year's WAFCON.
The biggest tournament.
The Mets find themselves played in Group B alongside defending champions Malawi, Mauritius and Madagascar. The local ladies will kick off their campaign against Malawi on the 23rd before taking Mauritius on the 26th and wrapping up the group stages on the 28th with a date against Madagascar. Kariso Morelekwa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk. Until we meet tomorrow, have a good night. Now let's take a look at the headlines.
Botswana urged to exercise their democratic right by voting on the 30th of this month. Pastors in Ngamilan call to contribute towards reducing the spread of HIV and AIDS in the area.
And in sports, the Mayor's promises desirable results as it takes part in the Hollywood's Best COSAFA tournament in South Africa next week.
Khosogongwe with the sport news. Topo Taposa interpreting in sign language. Up next is the weather update.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Kumu Salmonak. The following are the rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8. We recorded 20 millimeters at Ramatlabama Ranch, 10 millimeters at Tankane Primary School, 8 millimeters at Kasane International Airport, 7 millimeters at Sunnyside Research, 6 millimeters at Otse Production Office, 5 millimeters at Mohorosi Primary School, 3 millimeters at Good Hope Meteorological Station, 2 millimeters at Sekele Junior Secondary School, and 1 millimeter over Joane Meteorological Station and Mogoditsane Kotla. Now this evening, clouds are visible over some areas of Khansi, Ngamili and Chobe and Central District. Over the remaining areas, clear skies are visible. On Thursday, we're expecting some isolated thunder showers over Khansi and Kalahari District. Partly cloudy conditions are expected over Ngamili and Chobe, southern Southeast Gauteng and Kwenin District, with clear skies expected over Central and Northeast District. In the morning, we're expecting some mild temperatures over southern Southeast Gauteng, Kwenin, southern Central and Northeast District. Over northern Central and Chobe, we're expecting some warm temperatures. And over the remaining areas, we're expecting some hot temperatures. In the afternoon, we're expecting some warm temperatures over southern Southeast Gauteng, Kwenin, Central and Northeast District, with maximums ranging between 29 to 32 degrees Celsius. And over the remaining areas of our country, we're expecting some hot afternoon temperatures, with maximums ranging between 33 to 35 degrees Celsius. Now looking at the fire bulletin, is showing some active wildfires over some areas of Ngamili and Chobe, northern Central and Kwenin District. The public is advised to handle fire with care and avoid starting unnecessary fires. Now looking at some cities in Africa, we're expecting some showers over Nairobi and Dar es Salaam. Partly cloudy conditions are expected over Antananarivo, Cape Town and Luanda, with few pairs of clouds expected to be visible over Gqeberha and Windhoek. We're expecting some thunder showers over Monrovia, with clear skies expected over Khartoum and few pairs of clouds expected to be visible over Addis Ababa, Cairo, Tripolis and Jamena. That's the weather forecast. Have yourself a good evening.